Alright, in this video I want to talk about the 4 things you need to do to create a database connection using the MySQLi API. So the MySQLi comes with with many functions already pre-built, but you don't have to make these functions. The 4 that you're going to use in this course, and the 4 basic ones, are the MySQLi _connect, the MySQLi connect error, and the MySQLi query, and then close. Okay, so let's talk about each of these in order. The connect takes 4 arguments. Okay, the first is a server name, then username, then password, then database. Okay, it just so happens on our system, the server name is the same. The server name happens to be localhost. Localhost means that the database and the web server are on the same server. Okay, which is actually kind of a no-no when it comes to security. However, for our intents and purposes of this course, they're on the same server. Okay, so your server name would be localhost. Okay, localhost. Username is the username that you created in the video when you created your database. So it's the database username, and the database is the database that you created. Okay, and then the password is the password you created when you created that. Now they need to go in this order, and you set them equal to a variable called connection. If the connection does not work when it's called, then go ahead and say the connection failed and give the error. This will tell you what the problem was. Okay, so we come over here on, say, an update page, and we've done the is post request. It comes down, and the first thing we want to do is write our SQL statement. Okay, so we say SQL is equal to update. We're going to update prefix. Notice these backslashes are escaping the single quotes, so it doesn't throw any errors. So we just say, hey, let's update course and set all this information, basic SQL. And then we're going to go ahead and call the MySQLi query. Okay, and we're going to pass in the connection, and then the 2 arguments is the connection and the SQL statement. Okay, so we pass in the SQL statement and the connection. From the connection, we've got our include here from the connection here. So once it's connected, it runs the SQL. The next thing we want to do is close the connection. Okay, close the connection. So those are the 4 things. First, you create the connection, you use the connection, you pass in the SQL, then you close the connection. Okay, pretty easy. Now, let's say I don't know if this SQL is working. Okay, sometimes course ID might not be coming across right, or title isn't coming across right, or course number. Something's happening and we don't know what the problem is. What you can do is say, you know what? Don't redirect. Don't close the connection. Don't even open the connection. Instead, let's just echo out the SQL statement. So when you hit post, you come down here, you hit submit, it reloads the page. What it's going to output, it's just going to output the SQL statement. What you do at that point, and it will have all of the SQL statement as it's seen by the SQL, by PHP MyAdmin. So you copy that line of code on the web. On your web page, it'll output right there. It'll have all the variables, everything exactly how it was submitted to the PHP MyAdmin. You just copy that SQL statement and you paste it into the SQL in your cPanel, your PHP MyAdmin, and see what the error is, and that will allow you to come back and fix it. Once you know that, and once you have it fixed, you can come back over here, get rid of that line, and just run all the other stuff like normal. And that's how you troubleshoot the SQL statement. So you need 4 things to have it run. You need your connection in that order. You can use this connect error to see what the error might happen to be. And then you can query it, close it, and run it. Now, sometimes you want to output it. So let's just look at the output for this. Here, we've included our connection, and now we have our query here. Now this query, we open our connection, we run our SQL, but our query here is not update, it's select, which means it's going to return something. Update doesn't return anything. Update just says, yes, it happened, so it'll return true. But in this point, this is going to actually return us something because we want to select all from course. So what this is going to do is it's going to put everything that's in the course table into an array called courses. Okay, and once we have it in courses, we can then use it in our array for each loop and say courses as course and then output. Now this prefix and course number and title, all of those are column names inside the table. Okay, so column names inside the table. So whatever you called it in the table, in your database table, that's what the column name is going to be inside the array as it's brought out. Now notice down here for the update. This is actually just a link. We got a little ahref, okay? And we're going to send this when they click on it. It's going to send to the update page. But we want to pass it some variables. And these variables, we start with a question mark that says separate the page, and so we add a question mark. And the first variable is course ID. And then that's where we'll output course ID. And then we add our concatenation, and then the key is this ampersand. Okay, so we ampersand, then our next variable name. Prefix, ampersand, our next variable name. Okay, prefix, our ampersand, variable name, and we finish it up. Now, notice under this href we use a single quote here. Okay, because we've got double quotes on the outside, we can't use the double quotes here, so we'll single quote here, and then we'll add another single quote here to put that whole string together of where the href is going. Okay, and then we close with our tr and td tags to finish up the loop. Okay, all right, so that's pretty basic on how to use the for each loop with this courses that comes back to us with that query. And then notice after we're all done with our loop and we're all finished running things, we close our connection again. We always want to close the connection using the MySQLi close.